Every year, thousands of Brits head to Europe in search of a dream.
To a dad, that is just pure pleasure.
This is heaven on earth.
But sunshine and scenery and a great lifestyle need to be paid for.
My bank is empty. We've got nothing left.
So to fund their fairy tale,
Get your little fishy when the boat comes in.
brave Brits are taking the plunge and going into business. On this series, we follow those expats,
Dave, you got any euros?
setting up anything from bars and boat charters in Spain to vineyards and B&Bs in France.
Not happy. Not happy.
But will they flourish?
We're going to do it, we must do it properly.
Or will they fail?
Money doesn't grow on trees.
It is life or death.
And can they really make a life in the sun pay?
Fans broke down.
You are joking.
It went bang.
On today's show,
I have no relationship in the UK. I've got nothing to go back for.
it's decision time for the owner of Marbella's newest boot camp.
If I had to choose between finding the love of my life and the business, I would choose the business.
As the season closes at this British-run dive centre,
My accountant, when I took the invoices to her, her face actually went white.
will these expats risk all their profits again?
And I'm an ambitious bugger. Nice one, everyone.
And a shock for the Brits trying to break into the French wine business.
Well, I've broken my leg.
The Costa del Sol in Andalusia, Spain's top destination for fun in the sun. This area enjoys more than 3,000 hours of sunshine a year, almost double the UK average. There are about 8 million residents in Andalusia, 8% of whom are expats. Among them are Brits Simon and Natasha Bell and their son Reuben.
Flower
Who is it for?
for Ruben.
Oh, it's for Ruben! Is it not for Mummy?
Former journalists Simon and Natasha have moved here from London to run their own dive centre.
There's our house just down there. Across the fields, our nearest neighbour is on another hill over there. And this compares to where I used to live, on the Mile End Road in the East End of London, in a studio flat that's about the size of this and cost the same amount in rent as our 150-year-old converted farmhouse.
The couple have been running a dive centre in the resort of Torremolinos for 7 years. 6 months ago, they expanded, buying another dive centre in the Costa del Sol's trendiest town, Marbella. It's now nearly the end of season
If he has some spare paint, would he do our step?
and time to do some maintenance.
This is the boss of the port. He's a good guy. If you have a little spare of that lovely blue, could he do my step?
Oh, on the step in blue.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Oh, really?
Yes, sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You see, it just goes to show, if you don't ask, you don't get, right?
I know. Quien no llora no
She's
mama.
too polite. Sorry?
In Spanish is quien no llora no mama.
If you don't cry, you don't get booby.
Nice when you have a baby.
Yeah. So if you don't cry, you don't get booby.
Ah, booby. I didn't know that was booby.
But it's also time to take stock and decide if the expansion's been a success.
Come on, Vinny, we know you're old.
I can't help it if I dive with style.
Simon's team have worked flat out to establish their new dive centre. A job which has had its ups
1, 2, 3.
and its downs.
Fans broke down.
You are joking.
It went bang.
This year has really been just paying off the investment. So, yeah, the coming year and the coming years will definitely be able to afford to expand even more. When you see something grow slightly, you can see then the capacity for it to grow really, really big.
Now the season has ended and it's time to count the cash.
The last couple of days has just been the deadline to hand all of our accounts into our accountant. And it probably is the most hellish part of the entire season. For the 2 dive centres, we can have anything up to 30 or 40 invoices on a busy day. So my accountant, when I took the invoices to her a couple of days ago, her face actually went white.
It's been lots of paperwork for Natasha, but the takings are looking good.
All black, ninja style.
And Simon thinks he knows exactly where they should spend all that profit.
Sometime in the very near future, we'll have Simply Diving number 3 in Gibraltar.
See, I just blanked that out of my mind for the moment. I'm enjoying my sleep at the moment, and I would like to just continue enjoying my sleep that little bit longer.
Natasha has not been keen to risk their savings again to open another dive centre.
I don't know if we are ready for Gibraltar yet.
And that's exactly what you said about Marbella.
Despite Natasha's misgivings, Simon is determined to push until he gets what he wants, even raising the subject at a night out with his parents.
We don't need Gibraltar.
Oh, yes, we do.
There's a lovely Greek saying that says, the husband is the head of the family, but it's the woman who turns the neck. I will be turning the neck.
Away from Gibraltar. Here we have the confirmation of the setting up of the company. We even know that we have a space in Marina Village. We've done all the hard work, all the homework, all the paperwork, although Natasha wasn't too pleased about the idea.
With the autumn season looming, will Simon manage to convince Natasha to put everything on the line once again and open up their Gibraltar dive centre? Southwest France, a draw for millions of tourists each year, many of whom are lured by its world-famous wines. In this area, about 1,000 registered vineyards grow a variety of selected regional grapes. Sue and Humphrey Temperley moved to this area to produce their own wine after selling their farm in Somerset. Now they're settled in the village of Gajac-et-Rouillac.
England has become, over my lifetime, incredibly crowded, incredibly stressy, and I don't actually miss any of that. No traffic noise, no hassle, no commuting to work, all of those kind of things are great.
But after years of bad weather and mistakes in timing previous harvests, Sue and Humphrey haven't turned a profit yet.
You wouldn't want to be harvesting that this week, would you?
If they don't get a good crop this year, they will be forced to give up the vineyard.
There's no plan B about this project. We make this project work, or we have to sell up and go and live in a bungalow by the seaside.
This year, Sue and Humphrey think they're onto a winner. The weather has been ideal so far, with the right mixture of sunshine and rain. And they've managed to keep their vines healthy and strong.
This is our 6th summer, and I hope we'll all enjoy the wine.
But now they're faced with a big decision, one that they got wrong in the past. When exactly should they harvest their grapes?
We have to wait for the Malbec to be ripe before we can really harvest the Merlot.
It's nearly autumn and the weather could turn any moment and ruin the crop. But Humphrey is feeling lucky and has decided to gamble and postpone harvest for a week in the hope of more sunshine.
They aren't fully ripe, and so if I was really jumpy and worried, I could take them now and deal with some of the consequences, but I'd much rather leave them out there for another week and get a super quality product, which is what we will do if they don't come to some horrible end in the meantime. If you want something good, you've got to go for it, and going for it means taking some risks.
But a risk of a different sort has caused unexpected new problems.
Right, do you want to be on this or do you want that?
Well, I've broken my leg.
Just before the start of the red grape harvest, Humphrey has fallen over and badly injured himself.
Got very tired on Saturday evening and missed my footing coming down from top of one of the wine tanks. Swung down and fell onto the concrete wall, so now got 2 pins in my upper leg, upper tibia. Right, let's see if that gets into that one. And can't put much weight on it for a month or so.
This is a massive blow. Not only was Humphrey due to direct operations on harvest day, But he was also going to be the only tractor driver.
So let your bit slack, Sue. Now supervise and wave my crutches and get the harvest finished.
His apprentice, ex-cook Matt, is standing in for Humphrey, but he's never driven a tractor before.
We won't laugh at you, we promise.
So today, Sue and Humphrey are putting him through his paces. If he can't get it right, they'll have to hire a driver and cut into their profits.
It's quite difficult driving big trailers backwards, which you can't see where you're going. Some people can do it, some people can't. And the people who are kind of hopeless at reversing trailers. Well done. Well done, good.
Spot on. That's amazing.
It's a job well done for Matt. But when harvest day comes, he will have to do this manoeuvre many times with a loaded trailer. Sue and Humphrey's future rests on this harvest. Now they're one man down. Will they pull it off? The Spanish town of Marbella is the most glamorous place on the Costa del Sol. It's the second greenest city in Europe, with just 23% of its land urbanised. Here, €20 million villas rub shoulders with flats costing just €80,000. Rosanna Gorman from Doncaster has given up her job as a medical rep and poured more than £35,000 into starting up a residential boot camp and fitness centre.
Since I got here, I feel, much better in myself. I love this weather. I love being in the sun. It makes me feel better. It's like paradise, isn't it? Beautiful.
Rosanna is renting a 5-bedroom villa that can cater for up to 11 people.
It's a very, very good place. Very nice.
And she has given herself a year to see if she should make this move permanent.
I do like to watch them. I sometimes watch them when they don't think I'm watching as well, which is quite good.
It's been a slow start with just 30 customers in the first 5 weeks.
Hi, how you doing?
So Rosanna is trying to drum up business using an online consultant to update her marketing.
This is your storefront.
Well, there's no other way for people to find me other than online.
Yeah, and then
really. The things that I'm worried about, obviously, are not getting enough customers and not being able to go forward.
Rosanna is also exploring the local markets for quality products to improve the food on offer for her guests.
Wow, this is amazing. Look at this. Just fruit and vegetables everywhere.
And it seems like things are looking up. Rosanna just welcomed her first returning guest. Lisa, who signed up for a week of one-to-one intensive training to get the dream body she's always wanted.
Fabulous. That's great. You can get off now. Okay. So we'll do exactly the same measurements we did last time. So we'll do the bust, the waist, the hips, the thigh and bicep. Okay, so we've got all your measurements and your weight, and then we'll look at again the end of this week from the beginning of the week and see what the differences are.
It's not necessarily about what I want to lose, it's what I want to feel like in my clothes, etc. The inches and everything that come off my body rather than the weight.
Rosanna has miles of sandy beaches just a kilometre away from the villa.
Ready?
They are the perfect location to put Lisa through her intensive training programme.
Couple more. Oh, I love working in sand. I love it. I've got sand where sand really shouldn't be. First mission accomplished. 4 kilometres. Done. That's hard work. I think we deserve a little rest now. You saw a lot more flesh here. So people just seem to look after themselves more here than you would find in the UK. Everybody's into fitness. You see loads of people jogging and running and, all the time. What more could you want? It's not a bad job, really, is it?
But to keep her dream job, Rosanna needs to make sure clients keep coming. So she has decided to sign up for an exclusive business networking event.
This is Ellen and Derek, they're friends of mine. They are involved in the networking events and so on in Malaga, and they told me about this event and said it would be good for me to meet people because I don't get out much.
Ellen and Derek have lived in Spain for many years and know a lot of British expats in the area. Their aim is to boost local businesses by putting local entrepreneurs in touch with each other.
There could be some business networking. You meet someone, they're offering a service that you actually need. Oh, great.
Hopefully I'll speak to some of them. Hi, excuse me, I'm really sorry to interrupt. What's your name?
Alice.
Alice, I'm Rosanna. Nice to meet you.
Spanish way.
Spanish way, definitely. I run a company called Aurora Boot Camp, and it's for people who want to get fitter, lose some weight. It's quite nerve-wracking to do it sometimes. There's me, the personal me, who is actually quite shy and would die if I had to do these things. And then there's like the business side of me who just goes and does it. We're absolutely gluten-free and lactose-free, so there's no bread, no cheese.
Over 400 people have been invited to the event.
Hola.
And Rosanna is keen not to miss any potential new business contacts.
Do you know what my business is?
No. Despite the nerves, Rosanna manages to work the whole room.
Making some decisions.
And finds a promising new lead.
I've met Alice. She's actually a yoga teacher, so we're probably going to go out and do lunch and talk about things. So she's absolutely fantastic. So that's going to be really good.
At the end of a night of networking, Rosanna is feeling much more connected and confident.
It's been excellent. Everyone I've spoken to is like wanted to add me on Facebook and wanting to meet me for lunch, and it's been really good. Loved it.
But only time will tell if Rosanna's new business contacts mean more work for her boot camp. In Gajac-et-Rouillac, southwest France, finally it's harvest day for Sue and Humphrey Temperley.
To say when the grapes get this ripe, it is one of the best parts of the job. I love it.
After a few unprofitable years, this harvest is make or break for their business. The grapes look good, but they are short of a winemaker, Humphrey, who has broken his leg.
It's just as well they shaved your leg.
When you go to a French chemist, normally end up with a carry bag of stuff. In this case, it was a bit more extreme than that. Now I've got 2 pins in my upper leg. I can't put much weight on it for a month or so.
Their most important harvest is about to start, but Humphrey is under strict doctor's orders not to do any work. It's 8 a.m.
So the plan for this morning is the harvester will arrive hopefully in the next 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. The harvester will harvest the grapes and Matthew will bring them from where the harvester is in the field with the tractor and trailer into the shay. And then we pump the grapes from the trailers into the big vats.
It's been a long slog to produce the perfect crop. Apprentice Matt will have the crucial job of bringing home the grapes today.
A lot of anticipation. I've been here for 6 months now, so I've been waiting for this day. I was up since 5 with butterflies in my stomach, getting really excited, so looking forward to it.
What could go wrong?
It's not long before the grape harvester arrives.
Right on time as well.
This €300,000 beast is shared with the neighbouring vineyards. When harvest starts, it will travel along the vine, sucking off the grapes like a giant vacuum cleaner.
Mathieu?
Once harvested, Apprentice Matt will load the grapes and tow them back to the tanks with his tractor, a job he's never done before.
If there's any problem, just hoot.
Okay. I only started driving the tractor and trailer yesterday properly. Had half an hour's rehearsals and did a few backings in. So it's learning quick in the deep end, really. There's a lot riding on it. Obviously, there's a harvester there worth hundreds of thousands. One little move wrong and I could crash into that. I've obviously got the tractor and the trailer, which is worth a lot of money, and the load as well. It's the whole year's work riding on this, really.
Sue and Humphrey's livelihood depends on the success of this harvest.
I just want to tell Humphrey it started, but he isn't answering his phone at the moment. So he probably hasn't got it with him. But I thought he had, actually.
Humphrey's disappearance remains a mystery, but not for long.
Ah! It is Humphrey.
Despite being banned from driving, he's come to the field on a tractor.
I was just ringing you to say that he's here.
The doctor will be really happy.
I'm afraid I'm not a very good patient, and I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being confined to bed. And no, I don't really like people telling me what I have to do.
Only Humphrey probably would drive a tractor with a broken leg.
But that's enough driving for Humphrey for the day.
Bonjour. Ça va bien? Oui. Ah, deux vis. Ah, c'est bien.
It's apprentice Matt who will take the first load of grapes back to base. But is he ready to fill Humphrey's boots? As Matt reverses towards the harvester, he can count on the help and direction of his boss.
Just wait to see where he comes to? Yeah.
How lucky.
No, whoa! Okay. No, back. Whoa! Oh! Watch him. Okay.
Matt was inches away from crashing into the €300,000 harvester.
He was doing something very annoying, not concentrating on driving, and so I told him off.
He's quite bossy. Delegation isn't you, really.
I don't mind so much about my machine, but the shared machine is very expensive, and luckily no harm was done. On the first one, I was looking at the grapes going into the trailer rather than keeping my eye on the harvester, so that's why Humphrey got a little bit stressed. But now I know that I don't take my eyes off that man.
But this is only the first of 6 trailer loads they need to get in. Can Matt avoid more potentially costly mistakes? In Marbella on the Costa del Sol, Rosanna Gorman has been putting returning guest Lisa through her paces during a week-long stay at her boot camp retreat, the Aurora.
God, that's hard.
Rosanna has devised this whole programme specifically for Lisa, and Lisa's final weigh-in tomorrow will confirm if her strategy has worked. Only 10 weeks ago, Rosanna was living in the UK with her boyfriend and working as a medical rep.
So these are all notes that I'm doing now.
She's still wondering whether her move to Spain will be permanent, but her private life has recently taken a dramatic turn.
You get pictures of areas that you wouldn't necessarily want to see.
She recently split up with her British boyfriend and has been dating in Marbella.
Oh my God. That'll be a no. Basically what happens on here is you put in what age group I want, and it'll basically bring up pictures of people that fit that criteria. I've been on a couple of dates with Spanish men. Spanish men are very different to UK men. Spanish men are just so intense. It's like you go on one date with them and it's like they want to marry you. Don't you know what I say about myself? I live and work near Marbella, looking to meet new people who can show me the local area and maybe someone who I can practice my Spanish with.
Rosanna is at a crossroads in her life, with no ties left in the UK.
Basically, you're just going on looks. And it's actually quite addictive. It's terrible.
Rosanna will soon have to decide whether the move to Spain is permanent. But she knows she has to get her priorities right.
If I had to choose between finding the love of my life and the business, I would choose the business. Because that's what I came to Spain for. I can always find someone later on. If I let the business fail now, there's no recovery from that, is there?
And today is a big day for Rosanna's business. It's returning customer Lisa's final weigh-in at Aurora. Now Rosanna will find out if the training programme she's designed is a winning formula that can be rolled out.
Morning!
Lisa arrived determined to lose weight to feel good in a bikini. But has Rosanna's fitness regime and diet done the trick?
So this is the big day, the weigh-in. How you feeling?
Nervous.
Nervous? You've worked damned hard.
It's time for Lisa to face the scales.
Okay, step on.
So that is 4.5 off.
£4.5.
Yeah.
You can see my belly.
I can see a massive difference there. My fat woman.
It seems like Rosanna's first one-to-one training week has paid off.
Okay, so £4.5 off, 2 centimetres off your bust, 6 centimetres off your waist, 4 centimetres off your hips, and 1 off your bicep. Well done. Are you pleased with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
She's done amazingly well. She should be very proud of herself.
I would definitely recommend it. You know, you get rid of everything, you come out, there's no computer, there's no phone, there's just sun and the beach, and the training is really good. Everybody's so motivating, so yeah, it's very good.
Thank you for everything.
And I'll see you hopefully in September.
Thanks very much, Rosie.
Every single customer who's been to me has given fantastic feedback. I've had no one really who has said, you know, they didn't like it, they wouldn't come back.
Rosanna knows the regular returning business will be the key to success for her and her clients.
A lot of the reasons why people have come here is to sort of find themselves, and you can't really do that in a week. You know, it's not a quick fix thing, it's a long-term thing.
Just 10 kilometres down the road is Marbella Port, where it's the end of the summer season.
So everything else feel okay?
Simon and Natasha Bell's diving centre is finally winding down after months of flat-out diving. The couple have taken a rare day off. They're spending it with their son Reuben in the hills surrounding their house.
Well, everything he says sounds like you.
Oh, does it? Okay.
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 Come on then, let's do our walking. It's so lovely just to see Reuben growing up in this outdoor environment. I don't think he would have that as much if he lived in the UK.
Simon and Natasha have worked hard this year to establish their new dive centre. Will this couple risk everything they have once again by following Simon's expansion plans to Gibraltar?
I'm just one of these people, I get bored very easily, you know? Things kind of reach a plateau and it's nice, and then it just gets a little bit boring. So you have to think of something else to do. Hello, how you doing?
Today, all the staff of the diving centre have been summoned to a restaurant in Marbella for a much-awaited announcement.
Because they know what I'm like, they know if ever there's an announcement, it's always going to be something bigger and better. They know I'm an ambitious bugger. Natasha has a few things she'd like to say. Oh, here we go. Okay. You stand up and you start there.
Very quickly, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you to all of you. I never imagined that in expanding, we would have such a good year, and it's all down to you. Thank you. Honestly, it really does. You have improved our quality of life.
But following their explorations of the Gibraltar dive sites, the staff's eyes are firmly on the boss, Simon, as he prepares to make his speech.
It's been a very, very special year for Simply Diving. And the great news is, of course, that you knowing that I get very bored very, very easily, is that, of course, Simply Diving is going to expand even further. And, we're going to tackle a little part of the UK, which is Gibraltar. And obviously, we're going to need you guys here. We're going to need you for that. We've already got an official company registered in Gibraltar. Thank you, everyone, for your really, really hard work this year. I would not swap any of you lot for anybody. I wouldn't even swap Vinny. Nice one, guys.
Despite Natasha's reservations, once again, boss Simon has decided to power on with his expansion plans, aiming to open next summer. It's great news for the staff, but a risk for the company.
Gibraltar's got a really good dive sites. That's going to be great. Can't wait, actually. The more I think about it, it's like, yeah, definitely. Really up for that. Can't wait.
Of the two of us, I'm definitely more resistant to the
Gibraltar project. Not resistant permanently. It's really good to have that plan there. But right now, all I can think about is the end of season, putting my feet up and recharging really for a new year. Right, let's go! Simon!
Hang on a minute.
It's time to celebrate the achievements of a bunch of British expats and their Spanish colleagues.
Going up in the sky.
And look forward to a bright future.
Quite big things happening, yeah. And we're really going to need all their help as well, so.
Wow, look, it's gone up to the sky. Hopefully, they'll all be on board with us and help to see us through to the next stages as well. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
It's harvest day at Sue and Humphrey Temperley's Chateau Leicester Veni.
They are sweet, juicy and delicious.
Absolutely perfect.
Its owner's dream of a life in France rests on today. They need to get a bumper crop and bring it home safely, all with an injured winemaker.
How's your leg feeling now? Fine.
And an apprentice standing in.
When you see the thingies tip up and tip all those grapes into the trailer and you think, well, that's basically 11 3/4 months work of pruning and tying and all the rest of it, and that's the result. So when it's a huge full trailer like that, it really is amazing.
Looks like quite a decent volume, and the quality is very nice. So everything I could ask for, really.
Now with the first load of grapes in the trailer, Matt has to reverse it without damaging the grapes or the machinery.
Go forward again. Stop!
He's had a narrow escape with the harvester earlier. Phew, Matt's cracked it. And after nearly 12 months spent on the vine, it's time for the grapes to be pumped into the vats.
Susie, could you start the motor? Yes, please. Yep.
For their red wine, Humphrey will let the whole grapes ferment in the tanks along with their juice. This will give the wine its body and colour. Another tank is reserved just for the grape juice, which will become rosé wine.
So we'll do 2 more trailers, and then the last trailer we'll take some rosé out of.
Trailer after trailer is collected. After 6 difficult years, this looks like a bumper crop, so hopefully they can finally turn a profit.
This harvest looks like it'll put us on a really good footing, but you still can't count your chickens until the wine's actually made, but obviously today is most of the steps down the road.
And with the weather holding off, they're able to keep the grapes coming.
I'm very happy with today. We've done good 2/3 of the reds, and we've done all the whites now. So we've done 3/4 of our harvest, and we've got quite a lot more than we got in altogether last year. It's in very good condition, very nice quality, and it's as good as I could have expected.
It's basically been a dream day, just because we've harvested so much. It's beautiful quality. It hasn't had a hailstorm to ruin it. We might have to pinch ourselves.
I probably would be jumping for joy, only I've got a bit of a problem. I can do a one-legged jump, I guess.
Humphrey might be happy with the abundance of the crop this year, but to find out for sure if the wine is any good, he will have to wait for 6 more weeks until the grapes are fermented. It's now 6 months since Rosanna Gorman left Doncaster in South Yorkshire to set up her own boot camp fitness centre in southern Spain. She has given herself a year to make a success of the business, but at the halfway point, Rosanna's already beginning to draw some conclusions.
Since I opened in February, I've had people here every single week. Some weeks I've had up to 7, and some weeks I've only had 2. I thought there would be a couple of weeks at least in between where I didn't have anyone, but there hasn't been at all, which has been good.
Hola!
So after a slow start, it means she's averaged over 3 guests a week, the number she needs to break even.
Oh my goodness, it's been a whirlwind, an absolute whirlwind. Probably the first 6 or 7 weeks was just horrendous because I was doing everything myself. I was doing all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the transfers, very hard work, which I didn't mind the hard work. So now that I'm a lot more organised and a lot more chilled out, I've kind of got into the Spanish way of life a bit more chilled, which is good.
It's now the height of summer, with temperatures reaching 35 degrees almost every day. Rosanna has decided to give herself a much-needed summer break.
Anything to report broken or no? That's great. And the bathroom, everything okay in there?
Everything's okay in the bathroom.
She's handing back the villa to its owner and will be renting it again from September.
It's sort of the rundown to the end of the first season, really. July and August we will close because it's just too hot to do the kind of things that we're doing. So July and August will be my time to take stock of everything, see how things have gone. There was a lamp broken last week, so there'll be one missing from here.
There's one missing?
Yeah, one missing from there. I will change the website somewhat. I'll concentrate on my social media throughout the summer, so that's something that's, become very apparent as being very important.
But first, Rosanna needs to make one final journey back to Doncaster to move out permanently from the home that she and her ex-boyfriend have shared for the past 8 years.
There's a few bits and pieces, like some of these I would quite like to take to Spain with me. Things like this. You don't really want furry cushions and throws, do you, in Spain? Probably a bit hot. I should just get rid, really. Start again. One of the reasons I came to Spain was because I wanted a complete fresh start. There's no reason for me to go back to the UK. I have nothing there. I have no relationship in the UK. I don't have kids. I've got nothing to go back for. Why would I?
With her boot camp villa rented out, Rosanna is moving into a small apartment in the Andalusian mountains to make preparations for when she reopens in September.
There's an awful lot going on behind the scenes to ensure from September onwards everything's gonna go with a bang, basically.
And she's sure she's on the right track to success.
It's just an opportunity that I've given myself. No one else has given it to me, I've given it to myself. Given myself this opportunity to change my life, do what I want to do for a change. I do want to show people that I can do things on my own and that I don't particularly need anyone else to help me with that. I can do it on my own, which is where I want to be, really.
Chateau Lesterverny in southwest France. It's 5 weeks since Humphrey and Sue's red grape harvest.
Well, we could say we were home and wet, really, as opposed to home and dry. You're never dry here.
After a bumper crop, they're checking on the fermentation.
OK, that's lovely.
This is the most crucial moment of the year.
Bit hard.
When they find out if the wine's good enough for them to turn a profit.
By the end of today, we'll have all our wine in the tanks, ready to blend and bottle and everything else that goes afterwards.
Humphrey may be able to walk again, but won't be able to do any hard work. So apprentice Matt is stepping in. Again.
With a dodgy leg at the moment, my shovelling abilities are limited. And so I'm relegated to a sort of supervisory pottering around role for today.
Oh, I thought the supervisor was the boss.
Well, perhaps. Well, who's the boss?
Are there many berries on the top?
There is, yeah. Can we get them out now?
No, let's do that another day. We don't. As long as you can reach them.
Quite a lot of juice to that.
Oh, it smells wonderful, doesn't it?
It's also quite alcoholic in the air as well. It starts to make you feel a little bit lightheaded.
After After spending the last 6 weeks together in the tank, the grapes will be separated from the wine. Once Humphrey sees the grapes, he'll be able to tell if the wine will be any good. Humphrey finally has a chance to check if the grapes are fermented properly.
There's a berry that's come through the pressing and so on, virtually intact. It's actually not been squashed at all. If you can do that with your grapes, it actually does produce really good quality wine.
With a bumper crop and a perfect fermentation, Sue and Humphrey are on their way to their first successful year.
There we are.
They have just one last check to make, tasting the fruits of their labour.
Well done, well done. Every end of the what's proving to be a really good year. So.
Yeah, that's going to be probably our best ever, I'd say.
Yeah, it's as good as I could have hoped for. I think we'll probably bottle about 10,000, 12,000 bottles of this because it's.
That's a lot for us. Well, you know, I wish we'd done this 20 years ago, really. It's fantastic, and the younger you start, the longer you'll have.
It's such a beautiful place, such beautiful wildlife, and it is, yeah, a lot of people's dream, and we are very lucky to be stewards of it. And we were very lucky to find this place. And very lucky to find this wife.
This year, Sue and Humphrey have harvested enough wine to fill 120,000 bottles, 60,000 more than last year. This means that for the first time, they've finally made a profit, and their dream of being wine producers can continue. In Marbella, Rosanna has had 60 customers since reopening the boot camp. She's decided to move into a bigger villa, even closer to the centre of town. At the dive centre, Simon has been looking for a new boat to use in Gibraltar. He's trying to convince Natasha to part with €50,000 and still hoping to be open in time for the summer season.
Awesome! Mission success! Fantastic!
Next time, another set of great escapers hoping to make a living in the sun. Can this chef turn a chaotic kitchen
We've found a huge amount of cockroaches
into a top-class restaurant?
because you're starting to get worried, you know. We don't want to run out of money before we open the place up.
2 Londoners moved to France to open a B&B.
Our living room in London, I think you'd fit in 4 times.
But will car trouble end the dream before it even begins?
There's petrol just spewing out of it.
And can a carvery pub on the beautiful Costa
Are you all right, mate?
All right, no.
put the romance back into a marriage?
In fact, some days I don't even know if we like each other, to be fair. Do we?
I don't know, do we?
I don't think so.